The sixth episode of Genius Game brought viewers one of the season's most dramatic moments as Bex's alleged mistake during the Diamond Dilemma challenge led to Alison's elimination in a tense memory death match against Benjamin. With only 6 players remaining at the start of the episode, the stakes were higher than ever as the competition entered its final stages, showcasing both brilliant strategy and controversial gameplay that left contestants questioning each other's loyalty. The episode began with the remaining 6 competitors, Ken, Benjamin, Charlotte, Bodelia, Bex, and Alison gathering in the atrium as the creator announced they had collectively earned £32,000 for the prize pot so far. The mood was tense yet excited as they prepared for the main match, titled Diamond Dilemma, a complex game testing both team cooperation and individual strategy. The players were randomly split into 2 teams, the white team Ken, Benjamin, and Charlotte, and the red team Bodelia, Bex, and Alison. The rules of Diamond Dilemma presented an intriguing strategic dilemma. Each player started with 10 diamonds in their personal locker, and over 5 rounds, they would secretly decide how many diamonds to place in a communal jar. The team depositing more diamonds in each round would win a point, but crucially, only the losing team's diamond count would be revealed. After 5 rounds, the team with the most points would win, with the player on the winning team who had the most diamonds remaining receiving 2 tokens of life, immunity from elimination. Meanwhile, the player on the losing team with the fewest diamonds remaining would become the deathmatch candidate, putting them one step closer to elimination. The brilliance of this game design immediately became apparent as the teams separated to discuss strategy. The white team, led by Ken's confident assertion that "we'll have this," quickly settled on what seemed like a straightforward approach. Each member would contribute 3 diamonds every round for a total of 9, hoping this substantial amount would secure them victory across multiple rounds. This strategy reflected Ken's mathematical thinking, attempting to find a reliable number that would likely exceed what the other team would play while ensuring all team members finished with the same diamond count, meaning they would all share in the reward if they won. Meanwhile, the red team took a more cautious approach for the first round, with Bodelia suggesting they feel out the other team by depositing minimal diamonds. They settled on just 4 diamonds total for the first round, Bodelia putting in 2, while Alison and Bex each contributed 1. This conservative strategy proved costly as the white team won the first round, confirming the red team's total of 4 diamonds while keeping their own contribution secret. The psychological warfare escalated in round 2, with the red team becoming even more conservative, depositing just 1 diamond total. To their surprise, they lost again, putting the white team ahead 2-0. The tension began building as both teams tried to predict each other's strategies, while conserving enough diamonds for later rounds. The white team continued their consistent approach, believing their substantial contributions would continue to secure victories. The game dramatically shifted in round 3 when the white team, sensing victory was within reach, decided to go all in with their remaining 12 diamonds, for each. This bold move backfired spectacularly when the red team outplayed them by depositing 13 diamonds, winning the round and narrowing the score to 2-1. This left the white team in a devastating position. With no diamonds left for the final 2 rounds, they had essentially forfeited the game. The red team capitalized on this advantage in round 4, winning easily by depositing diamonds while the white team had nothing left to contribute. With the score tied 2-2 heading into the final round, the red team's strategy had prevailed through careful diamond management. For the final round, Bodelia, Bex, and Alison agreed to each put in their final diamond, securing victory while ensuring they would all finish with 0 diamonds, meaning they would all receive immunity as joint winners. This is where the episode's most controversial moment occurred. When the final results were revealed, Bex was shown to have 1 diamond remaining in her locker. She hadn't deposited her final diamond as agreed. Her teammates were visibly shocked, with Bodelia immediately questioning what happened. Bex claimed confusion. "I messed up because we'd not agreed what we were doing in the last round, and we thought we'd lost. I was like, oh, I don't actually know what I meant to do." However, many contestants suspected this was a calculated move, rather than a genuine mistake. The consequences were significant. As the only player on the winning team with diamonds remaining, Bex became the sole main match winner, receiving 2 tokens of life, 1 to keep and 1 to give away, and 2 garnets for the prize fund. Her decision not to follow the team strategy meant her teammates received nothing, despite their collective victory. This moment highlighted the fundamental tension in Genius Game, balancing team cooperation with individual survival. When the creator asked Bex to choose which player from the losing white team would become the deathmatch candidate, she selected Benjamin, apologizing profusely. This choice wasn't surprising given their previous conflicts, but it further heightened the episode's drama. Benjamin, now facing elimination, had to choose his opponent from among those without immunity. Before this selection, Bex had to decide who would receive her spare token of life. In a move that seemed designed to maintain an alliance, she chose Bodelia, repaying him for giving her immunity in the previous episode. I feel like not choosing Bodelia would have been pretty poor form given that he chose me yesterday, Bex explained, so I feel like that was a bit of a non-negotiable. This decision left Alison as Benjamin's only possible deathmatch opponent, as Ken and Charlotte had received tokens of life in earlier episodes. Benjamin's strategy was clear. I would not willingly choose Ken and Charlotte for the deathmatch if I have any other options because I think they're the two strongest people in the game, so it's obvious to me that the best strategic choice for me is to pick Alison. Despite Alison's attempts to sway his decision, offering Benjamin her full bag, presumably of garnets, he remained firm in his choice. The deathmatch, titled Picture Hunt, was a memory game where players had to match pictures on their conveyor belt with ones hidden under letters on a board. Correct matches moved their marker forward toward victory, while incorrect guesses moved their conveyor belt back, adding new tiles and potentially pushing them off the edge to elimination. Benjamin, as the deathmatch candidate, chose to go first. What followed was a fascinating psychological battle. Alison immediately employed a clever strategy. Whenever Benjamin revealed a letter, she would choose the same letter on her turn, limiting his information advantage while gathering knowledge herself. Every time I reveal the same letter as him, he hasn't learned anything new. But every time he reveals a letter, I have learned something new, she explained. This approach initially flustered Benjamin, who realized he might be eliminated before getting a proper chance to play. The tide turned when Benjamin got lucky, finding his first match with the letter P. From this point he gained momentum, eventually finding matches for letters Y, G, and C. Alison managed to score 1 point but couldn't close the gap. In a final strategic move, Benjamin avoided revealing any letters that might help Alison find her matches, ultimately securing his victory and Alison's elimination. The aftermath was emotional. Bex was distraught, repeatedly apologizing to Alison and blaming herself for the outcome. I just feel absolutely gutted. I really do, and if I could do anything to change it, I would do it in a heartbeat, she said through tears. Alison, showing remarkable sportsmanship, responded, "It's okay. I'm quite proud of the way I've played." Before leaving, she jokingly remarked, "Bex is responsible for my demise," but added, "I know it's a genuine mistake, and even if it wasn't, I would totally forgive her." The episode concluded with the 5 remaining players, Bex, Benjamin, Bodelia, Ken, and Charlotte, contemplating their path forward. "Feels a bit thin on the ground now, doesn't it?" Ken remarked, with Charlotte adding, "The final 5. 1 match away from the final." The preview for the next episode revealed a brutal semifinal where 3 players would be eliminated, leaving just 2 for the final. Bodelia's determination was clear. "I'm definitely gonna do whatever it takes to win." This episode of Genius Game perfectly encapsulated what makes the show compelling: the delicate balance between alliance building and self-preservation, the psychological warfare of anticipating opponents' moves, and the emotional impact when strategic decisions affect real people. Whether Bex's mistake was genuine or calculated remains one of the season's most debated moments, highlighting how even in a game of intellectual strategy, human emotions and relationships ultimately drive many of the most consequential decisions. As the competition narrows to its final stages, viewers were left wondering which alliances would hold firm under pressure, whether Bex's controversial victory would impact her relationships with the remaining players, and which 2 contestants would ultimately make it to the final showdown for the growing prize pot.